Okay, people. So everyone, you know, can agree that football is back. We can feel it. It's very, very close. So here it's me coming to you, talking to you. I'm sorry, guys, it's not a live stream because I'm really having some technical, like internet problems. That's the only thing I can say, internet problems. But the Football Connect is not gonna stop. We are always gonna bring in content to you. So we are here doing what we call football preview as we look up to what's coming after international break. We are looking at the games that are coming after international break, and it's exciting. And as usual, Liverpool are the ones who are starting the week, so we're going to talk about that game against the Merseyside derby against Everton. We need to talk about that game. Also, we need to look at the big game of the week. Of course, it's the London derby. So it's always interesting with how the Premier League set up the games. Usually, if you notice, whenever there is a big derby, they always make sure that there are other derbies that are also just besides the bigger derby. So it's always exciting to see. But here, as we are speaking, we have the Merseyside derby, Liverpool versus Everton. It's at Anfield. I always love games at Anfield, but not a 12 o'clock game. There's also the London derby, the North London derby. It's Chelsea versus Arsenal. It's gonna be an exciting one. Also, other games that we also have to call some bigger shouts. We have Man City versus Brighton. It's been played at Etihad, and we know what De Zerbi can do. It's full of surprises, that man. We also have some of the bigger games we can look forward to. It's, of course, Newcastle versus Crystal Palace. It's a game that we want to watch. Tottenham Hotspurs is also playing against Fulham. West Ham versus Aston Villa, the biggest teams that are informed that a lot of people are not really looking forward to. It's gonna be exciting. I'm really excited over the week. Let's see what happens as we do my preview, and we're gonna be doing my prediction. So I hope you are gonna enjoy. Do me a favor, click the like button, subscribe to the Connect. Let's get into the video. So when we talk about the North London derby, we always talk about it exciting. No, it's not actually the North London derby. It's actually the London derby, because North London derby is Tottenham and Chelsea and the Arsenal, right? So this is just the London derby, as we're gonna be watching Chelsea playing against Arsenal. And I'm telling you, there's not really a good Chelsea side. They've really been struggling. Yeah, new location. So like what I'm talking about, when we're looking at this game, we're busy looking at these two teams. They've been really struggling. They've not really been playing so well. Yeah, I mean the other side, the team that is hosting the other team, Chelsea, are really in trouble. And so much of us have been talking about how much they are in a crisis and how Mauricio Pochettino was going to transform this team. But they've really been now getting some wins. There's some belief now in this team. They believe that they're creating something. So yeah, there is something like that we have to look forward to. But to be honest, this team has really been struggling, especially when it comes to play against bigger teams. The only team that they were able to play well against was the first game when they played Liverpool. And the reason why they played well is because, every first game of the week, teams wants to, to show what they're capable of, and they got the chance and they really played so well. As well, they were playing with a Liverpool that did not even understand themselves. New players, they were actually getting used to the team. So, there were those type of things that you didn't really know what was going to happen in the game, but it was one of the games that, we thought we can talk about. But they've gone from then, they went terrible, losing so many games. Now it seems like they're building up their momentum. It looks like they're finding their feet now. As they're finding their feet, they get a game like Arsenal. Arsenal, a team that just came the week before the international break, beating Manchester City. I'm not talking of any other. I'm talking about a Pep Guardiola team, which of course is going to give them confidence, as well as this is the team that people were really predicting could be the winners of the Premier League this season. So this just creates, that amount of excitement over what's going to be happening and how this game will play out. But one thing we can tell you is that we are excited over this game, and I'm telling you, I do believe Chelsea are going to try to fight, because of course it is the derby after all. And we need to see some fight. We want to see the teams fighting against each other a bit, so that we really enjoy this derby to the fullest. But Arsenal are gonna hammer this team. I'm sure that Saka could be back. Martinelli is back. We saw what he's capable of doing. Declan Rice is fitting in so well. And Yeah, that's it. It seems like things are gonna be crazy. Odegaard enjoying himself as a captain. It seems like David Raya now is now the goalkeeper of Arsenal. That story, as much as we have so much to talk about, we need to throw that one outside. But as you can see, there's a lot of things to look forward to when it comes to this game. But my prediction is that Arsenal will win this game by 3-1. Yes, I know that they are away. We know that they're gonna beat this Chelsea. I'm actually giving them this one because I'm hoping that Sterling, as he has been in a good form, he can get something. We need to also talk about him as well as Nicholas Jackson. We need to see what he's gonna be capable of doing. Moises Caicedo, he has to show his capability. Enzo Fernandez, people keep telling me of how much of a big star this kid is. I think these are the games you have to show how much of a good star you are. But at the end of the day, Arsenal are winning this game because that's how I just feel it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section over that one. The other big game which is here, of course, is the Merseyside derby. There are so many mixed emotions when it comes to this game, particularly because most of the games that I remember of the Merseyside derby is watching Pickford breaking Virgil van Dijk's leg, watching Richard Alisson breaking also Thiago Alcantara's leg. Also, we have those good moments like the last minute goal of Divock Origi. There is so much when it comes to the Merseyside derby. But beating Liverpool at Anfield has really not been something that they've been able to do for some time. And I'm believing because we now have this new and exciting midfielder, the norm will continue. We'll continue beating this Everton at Anfield at home. But it's just that it's a 12 o'clock game. I hate the 12 o'clock games. Liverpool don't really play well when it comes to 12 o'clock games. But this is the game we've been giving people. And we have to expect to see a team that is there to play and fight for everything. I'm not really sure how the game will play out. No, I'm really sure how the game will play out. So I'm going to give my predictions in this one. But yes, I'm hoping that Cody Gakpo is fit because we need him. I'm happy as well that Diego Jota is back. Remember, he was given a red card. He's back in this game. And we are also talking about... Yeah, I think our backline is back. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Robbo will be out, and I think Konstantinos Tsimikas has to really step it up because he's the guy who's going to be taking over there. Or maybe Klopp decided to just play a back three because we've seen that we're trying to do so after all. I'm hoping Endo plays, man. I need Endo to play so that McAllister goes to his position because we don't even have Curtis Jones after all. So McAllister goes to his position. Endo plays as a DM. We have Soboslai up there. We have Salah. Darwin Nunes, he has been on a rampage. We saw what he just did with Brazil in the international break. Then also Lucha Diaz. Let's see what happens so that he can try to pick up his confidence after missing up a penalty in the international break. So it's going to be exciting times. I'm really hoping that Liverpool maybe beat this team by 4-0. I need them to make a mark. They have to fear this team that we're trying to build, the midfield, the strike force that looks like they can score days just for fun. We need to make sure that we beat them. I believe Salah will score in this game. So there's a lot of things to look out to this game, and I'm really excited. Let's see how they'll be lining up after all. Then we go to Brighton versus Man City. Man City have just lost their last 3 games, and Rodri is back. Very, very important. I think that's the reason why they've not been winning. But we have always known that Man City have not really been performing so well. They've just been surviving. And we saw what Brighton are capable of doing. They introduced the new signings and what these guys are capable of doing, which helped them to get where they were. So that has to be something that we look at as well, because that can give us a direction where they're going. But it's going to be a good game, to be honest. Brighton can hurt this team as well. Man City have to be on that point. I feel like Haaland is really gonna struggle again because he still doesn't have a Kevin De Bruyne who will give him those easy tap-in passes or those goals that will cause problems. But I'm telling you, the ball carriers that are in this team that are not really creators as we want them to be. The signings that Guardiola has made are not really creators. We thought that Phil Foden would take over that mentor, but it looks like he's really not struggling to do so. And Haaland as well, it looks like he's gonna fail to even qualify for the Norwegian into the Euro. There's a lot of things that is happening. So that's what makes this game a little bit more exciting. So we'll see how the game will play out. But I see nothing but let me call it a 2-2 draw. Because as much as I want to say Man City will lose, as much as I want to say Brighton will lose, these guys will push us to the end. So I'm going to put it as a 2-2 draw. That's how I see the game playing out. The other interesting game that we need to look forward to is also Tottenham versus Fulham. Besuma was given a red card, so they won't have the big guy, the defender, as he's going to be out. It's going to be exciting to see how this game play out. But I feel like Fulham have not really been good, so I feel like Tottenham will win this game by 2-1, which keep them on top of the league as things continues. So that is to be interesting to see how that one plays out. Aston Villa versus West Ham, that's a good game. I'm telling you, that's a good game that people have to watch in, especially with how the new signings of both these teams have performed and how they look like they're enjoying what they're doing. It's going to be an exciting game. We're going to be watching it, and we can't wait to see what they produce out of this. But in my belief, I feel like because Aston Villa is at home, they will win this game. So I'm gonna predict it to be 2-1. Sheffield versus Manchester United. You know, if you're Manchester United, you just won against Brentford in the last minute with 2 goals from Scott McTominay, which I'm believing will start. You need something that gives you confidence to build on. To Casemiro was injured because of the international break, so I'm hoping that we get to see Sofia Amrabat playing in the position which he's supposed to be playing. They need to win this game. Sheffield United, as much as they are good, they've not really been that perfect. If they cannot win this game, then which game are they going to win? I know that it's away from home, but they need to win this game. So let's see what he does. So my prediction has to be 1-0 to Manchester United. They just have to win this game. They have to. I'm hoping they do. We have Newcastle versus Crystal Palace. That's a good game. As much as Crystal Palace are winning and failing, they're not really that good. But Eddie Howe, he's really doing so well. Of course, there are the Tonali issue, who looks like he's going to be suspended. There's so much to talk about that one. We'll see how they find out the situation go like that. So we'll go in depth looking at what caused him to be suspended. But at the moment, still being worked on. I'm believing that Newcastle will win this game. They have so many. The Isak, Callum Wilson, the Gordon Ramsay, they can hurt this team. Callum Wilson, that they can hurt this team. I'm seeing nothing but maybe 3-0 or 4, because they can score. I feel it. I feel it in my system. The other game that we need to talk about is Wolves versus Bournemouth. Wolves' manager is going back to his former home where he was fired. Felt like it was a bit harsh. Don't think he deserved to be fired. But he's going to be going back to his former home, and I think he is going to there to the point to prove he's going to be putting everything on the pitch. He will try to hurt this team. And it's going to be exciting to see, because Bournemouth have been struggling with form, and as well as it seems like they're failing again. He saved them from being relegated, and the thanks he got was being sacked. He's going to beat this team, I'm telling you. After beating Man City, I'm seeing a 4 or 5-0 defeat to Bournemouth. Brentford versus Burnley. If there is any game you are going to win as what's his name, Vincent Kompany, Brentford has to be, man. Because everything you are doing is turning into nothing but pain. You have to win this game. If you cannot win this game, I have no idea what else can I even say. They've been losing. Brentford, after losing that game against Man United, the confidence has to be a little bit lower, but they need to bounce back as well. I'm just seeing this game as a 1-1 draw, because I don't know who's going to win in it. Luton versus Nottingham Forest, or it's Nottingham Forest versus Luton. Luton Town, of course, I thought they could be the surprise package of the season, but how wrong was I? And I'm not afraid to admit it, I was wrong. I see nothing but a Nottingham Forest win, I think 3-0. Luton doesn't look like they have anything to offer, and that's me being real. So those are the games that are going to be played this week, people. Tell me which team I forgot. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If I can say I'm going to pick up one thing that I'm really certain of my prediction, it's the Chelsea Arsenal, and it's the bigger game, which makes me a little bit crazy, but I'm telling you, as well as the Luton game, as well as the Liverpool game. So it's going to be exciting to see what happens So I'm a Liverpool fan, so what do you expect? Anyway, do me a favor, click the like button, subscribe to Connect. Usually, this is the moment that I give you what I've set my fantasy team and how it's looking like. I can do that, people. Like I told you, the Wi-Fi issue, but I'll make sure that I work on it. Maybe on the review show, I might give you my fantasy team that I predicted and the points that I got. Click the like button, subscribe to Connect. We'll be back again with another one. Peace. We're out.